Bureau of Labor Statistics also confirming that last month's jobs data will not be recorded or released, and that leaves the Fed to decide on interest rates next month without that additional data. So let's bring in Doug Flynn on all of this. What Kelly asked Hassett about, we were looking at, a lot of people look at freight, numbers to say, hey, is this a warning about the economy? Or when things are going gangbusters, is this telling us the economy is in good shape? So there have been some warnings that I've seen posted related to that, and then the transportation and warehousing jobs lost. So what do you think of that? Are there some warning signs, even though the number overall today was better than expected?
I think there are some warning signs. The number was better, which kind of puts you away from lowering interest rates because the overall what it looks like on the headline is better than expected. But what I'm looking at is also the continuous jobless claim numbers, which really those, if you look at them from pre-shutdown to now, have gone up 50,000. So even though the weekly jobless claims are around the same and the unemployment rate's going to tick up or down 0.1, the longer standing numbers, the continuous ones, are definitely showing up. So some of these signs are like that, where you start to see these pieces that are coming together that, even though right now it might not seem like it's so bad, there are some signs out there that say that it could be getting weaker, but just I don't know if it's going to come in time for them to cut rates.
Now, right, which is what everybody seems to be focused on, and the odds of a rate cut now have gone down a lot. It was, assumed it would happen. Now it may not happen in December. Stock market, kind of interesting, was up initially. I don't know necessarily on all this, but on NVIDIA's numbers last night, the big tech giant, AI, which was very, very strong, and we covered it last night. Yeah. And then at some point, I think people started to get concerned about those valuations again, maybe. But anyway, the whole market.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, is that what happened, and the market turned?
Yeah, they after the initial pop, they were like, well, now we'll focus back on whether or not the valuations are too high again, and just mainly in the AI-related stocks. And then you layer in the fact that now the Fed may not cut. Look, the biggest problem with the Fed not cutting is they've announced they're not doing the November data. Okay, they're just skipping it for the October data in November. And the November data they're going to release on December 16th, which, by the way, is just exactly 1 week after the Fed meets to cut rates. I just think it's utterly ridiculous that you're going to skip one and then you have to, miss 5 business days is really all you need to speed up the November one to get your December data. So we're just dealing with stale data. And so you mix that into the AI thing, and everyone was like, you know what, I'm not going to keep my stocks high where they were on the AI front. And so they started to sell.
And then that's what happened kind of midday and into the close, which we're seeing right now. All right, Doug, as always, thank you. Explaining all that for us, Doug Flynn.